or least.
True Opinion Podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of the True Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Adontaus. And man, daylight savings time is a bitch. I feel like I lost a whole day, not an hour. I'm so tired. Like, it don't even make sense. But how y'all doing out there? Anyway, this week, I want to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long, long time. But I was like, no, I have to sit down and think about it. I got to approach it the right way and say the right thing and, get everything in there or whatever. But I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to talk about it because it's been popping up a lot for me personally lately. And so, I got a platform and I'm going to stand on it and we're going to talk about it. So, forgiveness. We're talking everything forgiveness this week. And it's going to be intense. We're going to talk about trauma and drama and healing and childhood, who you should forgive, who you shouldn't forgive. Is forgiveness even a thing? Is it something we make up to make ourselves feel better? Is it something people use to manipulate us? Like, what is it? Is it religious? Is it secular? Like, is it a thing? What is it? Everything I can think of, forgiveness. We're going to try to get into it. So, here we go. So, I went to Catholic school in grammar school and then like a private high school that had religious education. So forgiveness has always been like not thrown in my face, but I always heard about forgiveness and you have to forgive because God forgave us and God gave us Jesus so that he could die for our sins. And now anything that you do, if you're sorry, if you pray for forgiveness, you can get it. You have to forgive. God forgave you, so you got to forgive other people. And, it's just always been preached. It's like a main tenet of Christianity, right? So, I just went with it. That's what you do. You forgive people. And it's not a bad thing. It is very, it's nice to be able to make up. It's nice to be able to forgive and forget. Forgiveness is a pretty powerful thing, I will say. It definitely has its benefits. And when I first met my husband, we always call like the early stages of our relationship season 1. So like in season 1, I used to talk to him all the time about forgiveness. Oh, babe, you gotta forgive this person. Oh, babe, you gotta forgive that. You have to forgive. You not forgiving is like you drinking poison expecting somebody else to die. You have to forgive if you really want to be able to love and accept love in return. And, you can't dwell on those bad things. If you forgive, you don't have to dwell on that stuff. You can let it go. You can be free. You can be happy. You can start all over. Like, it was like forgiveness was like some youth serum or something. I mean, I was really selling this shit to this man, forgive. And so now, when I think about that, I think about the fact that when I was telling him, like, you have to forgive people, you have to let it go. Come on, man, you gotta, get in there and forgive and try to fix it. It's because I had never experienced the type of hurt or pain or betrayal that led him to the point where he felt like he couldn't forgive, So basically, like, without having walked in someone else's very hurt shoes, is that a thing? I don't know. But having not experienced those things he experienced, it was easy for me to talk about forgiveness because I hadn't lived that. So now that I have my own experiences that are very painful, that has made me rethink large parts and portions of my life in childhood, and for a long time left me wondering, why would someone do that? How could, why? And I just cried and was upset and trying to figure everything out. Now that I have my own like super painful shit, I can see where me saying, oh, you gotta forgive and come on, like that could have been fucking annoying, because I don't want to hear that shit right now. Like, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. And I would say, and even though I didn't experience the exact same thing that he did that led him to feel the way that he feels, like my own experiences, like I can see where that that attitude or that feeling of, like not wanting to let that shit go, or not being able to, but still being able to live a life. Like, this is so strange to me, because in everything that I was taught and everything that I believed, everything that I heard about forgiveness, like from a religious aspect, you are not supposed to be able to live life, live a happy and fulfilled life without being able to, reconcile your past and have forgiven others for things that they've done to you. Like, this shit ain't supposed to be done, but here I am doing it. And it's just kind of like, damn, in one way it makes you think about everything else that you thought was so steadfast and this is the way things are. Maybe I need to re-examine a lot of things that I held near and dear, or a lot of stuff that I just believed in. And then, it also makes me think like what is forgiveness? Who is it for? So I've always thought, forgiveness is not for the other person, the other party that wronged you. It has nothing to do with them. It has all to do with you. It's like a spiritual cleansing, or like a unblocking. You have something that is weighing on you, that's making you hurt or angry or holding you back in some way. And the only way to get out of it, get away from it, is to, find the source. And usually it's whatever hurt, pain, trespass, whatever, and forgive it. And you don't have to let that person know, hey, guess what? I forgave you. I'm happy now. I'm doing okay. All right, girl, bye. Okay, dude, see you later. You don't have to do any of that. It's just the fact that you like really done it and really let it go. It's supposed to be so freeing. Like, that is what I always thought forgiveness was. And then, like I said, the religious component of how can you expect forgiveness for the absolute wrong things that you do on a daily basis, for, continuously falling short of God's expectation of you. And you can't forgive people who are right here on earth with you. People you interact with, people you love or care about or have relationships with. You can't forgive them, but you expect forgiveness. Like, no, that's not how it works. If you want forgiveness, you have to forgive. So, yeah, that's what I thought it was. And so now what I think it is I don't know. Is it a scam? Like, I think what I thought it was actually is just, it's so really nice to think about that you can kind of do some spiritual work, some mental work, and kind of get over things or forgive things and kind of unblock yourself. It's so nice to think that you can just do that. But the reality is, some hurts and pains and traumas and some things are so deep and so emotional that, for one, even addressing them causes you more pain. Even digging that shit up, bringing it to the surface and trying to unpack it and deal with it and figure it out. Like a lot of that in and of itself is traumatic, and then it can just, in some senses, it can heighten your feelings of anger or whatever it is that you have against this person or people or situations or whatever. So it's like the reality of forgiveness is that it is very dirty and gritty and grimy, and it can be so traumatic on you to even start to, like, the work of trying to forgive somebody. It's like, is it worth it? If you're living your life and everything is going fine, like, should you like bring that shit up? Should you dredge it to the surface and drag it out and lay it bare and try to work with it? Or should you just be like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that shit where it's at. And then it's like, is it possible to have a fulfilling life, a wonderful, a happy life without ever having to unpack that stuff or figure out who hurt you and whether to forgive them or not to forgive them? Like, these are a lot of fucking questions that I have, all from one concept, one word: forgiveness. So it would seem like the simple thing to do would just be like, you know what? It's cool. It's okay. I forgive you. See? Simple. Easy to say. Now, that's only works, though, like when you're dealing with, like, grammar school, maybe high school shit. Like, oh, you said that shit. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I forgive you. Or you did that. Like, man, that's fucked up. You ate the last of my burger. I was saving it for when I got off work. But, okay, I forgive you. Like, or, even, you... little fender bender, you scratch my car, like, it's an inconvenience. I hate you did this shit, but pay for the damage. It's cool. I forgive you. Like, it seems like that works with, like, simple little petty little life shit. But the big shit, the shit that has changed you as a person and changed the way you think about the world, the way you move, the way you act, the way you talk, the way you are, your life, like, that deserves more than okay, it's cool. It really does. And I think that we owe it to ourselves to do the hard work of figuring out pain, figuring out where it came from, who inflicted it, and even how we have internalized that pain and how that pain affects how we move in this world. Because, I mean, like, you could have abandonment issues, you could have trust issues, you could have, you could sabotage relationships when they get too good. You could have all these different traits, all these different things that you do that can come from, a bad relationship that you had. It could come from a tumultuous or traumatic childhood. So I think that if you look around at your life, if you feel like, things aren't going the way you want them to go, if you think that, something is not right, something is missing, I can't tell you how you feel. If you are honest with yourself and you're like, you know what, something in my heart and my spirit or something is not right, like, I think you owe it to yourself to try to live your best life. I don't know. That saying annoys me now because somebody used it against me in kind of a way that was like, bitch, fuck you. But anyway, I digress. But if you are not living a life that you are proud of or comfortable in, I think you owe it to yourself, nobody else, to try to do the work to figure out why that is. And then once you do that, if you find the culprit, if you pin down the situation or whatever led you to this conclusion, then you have to deal with forgiveness. So can you live your life and be happy without forgiving somebody for something? I don't know. I don't know, but personally, I will say that I feel like I am. With this asterisk, I will apply. Because while I feel like I am happy in my life, I am satisfied in my life, things are going well, I am appreciative, everything is good. But I can say that not forgiving this colossal hurt and betrayal has changed me in a way that I think for a little while I hadn't even recognized in myself. But recently, I don't even really know how to put it. When I was all aboard the forgiveness train, I was just so laid back and easygoing, and everything was cool. It was all right. I could so much more easily empathize and sympathize with people and where they were coming from and what they said. And you may have said that, but it wasn't trying to hurt me. It's that, you are going through something and you are projecting onto me. I know that you care. I know that you didn't mean it. I'm not going to hold a grudge. You know what I mean? I'm going to forgive you. We don't have to talk about it. I know. So it's cool. That's kind of how I used to work. And so now, kind of operating from this place of, forgiveness is not going to be given out that easily and that readily. Now I just feel more like, watch what the fuck you say to me. It's not like, I sympathize with your hurt or your pain or your struggle or what you're going through. It's just kind of like, no, because I still watch what I say to people, and I still, try to operate from a place of love and understanding or compassion or, friendship or, whatever. I am responsible enough with my words to guard your feelings, and I'm going to demand the same. And that's just it. And I just kind of feel like, at this point in my life, most people that I deal with on a day-to-day, most of them that I consider close have known me for quite a long time, either my whole life or 5 or more years or whatever. And it's like, you know what you shouldn't say to me. And even though perhaps, the dynamic has changed a little bit because I have a different point of view and perspective of things, if we are friends, if we're cool, if we're whatever, I think you should recognize that, ask me about it. Or if you've just been fucking asking questions or keeping up with my life or fucking checking in, then you would know, oh, she's a little different or whatever, And this is not, that sounded really like I was directing something towards somebody. It's not that. It's just, this is for anybody. And this is, but I'm just speaking to my experience, just kind of giving up on forgiveness and giving up on it, giving it out so freely, and having a situation now that I am not willing to forgive. It does make me less patient and less willing to forgive other people for the dumb shit that they do and say. Man, that's it. Does it make me less happy? No. Actually, I would say it feels pretty good. I feel like I am more protecting myself and standing up for myself, if that makes any sense. The people that are the most important to me, the kids, my bae, or whatever, my relationship with them hasn't changed. They're still unconditional love and infinite forgiveness. And, I just pour into them as normal and usual. But I mean, I guess for everybody else, it's just kind of, I demand more. I demand that you take more care with me if you consider me a friend. So that is what's different on my that's not forgiveness journey, but my I'm not just handing that shit out no more journey. And it, like I said, it kind of makes me think like growing up, like what was forgiveness? If I had not had this education that was grounded in the Christian religion, and then, all this forgiveness was spit out at me, like what kind of person would I be? And it makes me think, what have I forgiven? And not only what have I forgiven, but what have I buried or covered up so deep that because I just didn't want to think about it. You forgive it and you shove it down. It really is like, well, I really was like, practicing the forgive and forget. And then now, every now and again, something will occur to me or come up, and it kind of like fucking, like punches me in the face. Like, damn, like years and years ago, that was done to me or that was said to me and that shit wasn't right, but I forgave it, I forgot it, and I buried it. And like I said, the problem with that is that at some point, for me being in a place now where everything is good, I can say that probably at my lowest point in life is when I started thinking like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this my life? Why am I doomed for this to be my life? And, I think I started to kind of think about like the ways I was raised and the things I was told and how things made me feel about myself that kind of led me to have this personality, to what am I trying to say? Like basically, like I was so like into that forgiveness and forgive and forget and nice and happy and woo 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 and everything. It's like I led myself down a dark fucking path and got kind of caught up with someone and in a situation that was like I was being taken advantage of. My good nature and my forgiveness and my sympathy and my empathy and my rationalizing, all of this was being taken advantage of. So if you are going to practice forgiveness, if you are going to teach forgiveness, and this is what you teach your friends, your kids, this is what you counsel your friends on, this is what you tell people, you have to teach them like forgiveness is a important tool. It is powerful, and it's like a sword. Is it like a sword? It's like ice from Game of Thrones. The great sword ice. Like you have to be taught how to wield it. You can't just, think you're going to pick it up and wave it around willy-nilly and, and everything is going to be good. Because you can end up like really fucked up. So you have to be taught how to wield forgiveness. You have to be taught, or you have to teach someone who they should forgive, like what are the conditions. Nobody is a benevolent figure. Nobody died for me to have to forgive everything that whomever does to me. That is not how it works. I don't believe that that is how it was intended. I think that I was interpreting it that way, and that is not correct. You know, if someone does the same thing to, and it sounds like common fucking sense now, like I just want to slap my own face. Like, if somebody does the same shit to you over and over again and you keep forgiving them, you're a dummy. They mean to do it. They want to do it. They will not stop doing it. So you need to change your reaction to them doing it. Either you remove them from your life or you set a different kind of consequence where it's just like, yo, you're going to keep doing this and shit is not going to be sweet. You know? So I guess if we're going to start numbering them, that's number one. Learn how to yield. Learn how to wield forgiveness responsibly. Forgive people that show you, act like they want your forgiveness. People that deserve it, essentially. You know, it's precious, and like I said, it's like trust. You don't give trust that willing. You don't just trust every fucking person you meet. You know what I'm saying? So you don't just forgive everybody who's ever done anything wrong to you. Like, some people don't deserve to be forgiven. And that's not a blight on your soul, on your existence, on your consciousness. It's not going to make you an unhappy, miserable person if somebody has done some shitty shit to you. The shittiest of shit. And you decide, you know what? Nah, bro, I'm done. Analysis, that's it. It means nothing. You know, it's not, that is you taking a stand and taking a stand for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, 2, I don't know where we're even going with the numbers, but 2, forgiving parents, for family members, you know, grandma, grandpa. Oh my gosh, this is like, you know, family can really, really hurt you. Really, really, really hurt you in ways that are just extraordinary and unbelievable, and just, I mean, I just shudder to think of some of the things that I've seen, heard, experienced concerning, you know, people and their families. Like, I was on Twitter, or the Twitter, as I like to call it. I don't know why I like to call it that. Anyway, this young lady, I wish I remember her Twitter handle, but she had tweeted that her grandma asked her to write a letter, like on behalf of her uncle that had molested her when she was younger, so that he could get out of jail early. The grandma's son, you know, her uncle or whatever. And my heart just like ached for this young lady, because that is like some really, really fucked up shit. And families will do that to you. Like, not only was she hurt beyond belief by the uncle, but then, you know, that was deepened by her grandmother. You know, grandmothers are supposed to hold a place like in such high esteem and regard in our lives. You know, your grandmother, your big mama, you know, she, you know, further hurt her by saying, like, yeah, listen, I know he did this or whatever, but this is my son. Can you write this letter, girl, so he could get out of jail early? You know, and of course it wasn't that flippant, but it's just, it's kind of a erasure of her pain and what happened to her. Like saying, you know, can you forgive that and forget that and just like help now? And that's like really fucked up. And that is a problem in a lot of families, especially families that are very deeply religious and like rooted in the word or whatever. And this is not an attack on religion or religious people, not at all, but it's merely like a commentary on how sometimes for their own nefarious reasons. And this has happened throughout history across all manner of time in almost every section of the world. People have manipulated and used parts of religion to try to affect the behavior of others and try to get them to do what they want. We have seen it all the time. And I think, a lot of families, like I said, that are deeply religious or they do this as well. And it's not fair. And, your religion and your faith is something that is deeply personal to you. Yes, you may celebrate it in a community, but ultimately your relationship with God should be one that you are personally cultivating every day. And you have to have your own conversation with God and figure out what forgiveness is and what it looks like, and not allow people in your family that have hurt you to kind of trot out forgiveness to your face, like, but this is what you have to do. And then not only religiously do you have to do it, but just because I'm your mama, or just because I'm your daddy, or I'm your grandma, your big mama, your granddaddy, your auntie, your uncle. Nobody deserves forgiveness freely just because of the title they occupy. To me, like, they should be held to an even greater standard because they hold such a important place in your life that they should know, nobody is perfect, but they should be more in tune with who you are as a person and the want for you to be happy, healthy, and well adjusted, and not be like doing fucked up shit to you and then trying to make you just kind of go along with the program under this guise of forgiveness. So the point of all that is to say, don't let religion like put you in this forgiveness box. Don't let it make you feel like you just have to. You cultivate your own relationship with God. You figure it out what forgiveness is, and you apply it however you see fit. And don't let nobody manipulate you just because they're your family. Don't. This like reminds me, like we've seen in public, and there's been a ton of discussion about forgiveness in the wake of tragedies when I feel like such trash. I cannot remember the name of the church in North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina. That crazy white boy, Dylan Roof, killed those people at the Bible study. And then, of course, like, it's this call for, we forgive him and we wish, and this is, no. Personally, I feel like, no. I can't. Forgiveness on the part of other people is not mine to grant or withhold. But as for me personally, I would like to see, like I said, more work being done on somebody's part to earn some forgiveness sometimes. And even though I just said, it's not about the other person, it's about you. But I don't think that even the way to deal with tragedy is to instantly be like, okay, well, I forgive him. Does that make you feel better? It don't make you feel worse. It don't make you feel better. It's like this is what this set of rules dictates that I should do or say in this situation. So I'm going to do it. And then the healing will come. And, if you are personally affected by some tragedy and that is how you deal with it, then that's how you deal with it. It's not for anybody to judge or tell you what's right or wrong. But I would just, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would like to say, because I want, of course, people to have the freedom to feel and do whatever they need to do to make themselves happy and well adjusted and able to move on and get through life. But I also don't want you people, y'all, my audience, y'all out there, I don't want nobody like to feel like I was like in this forgiveness box where really like people, you're in this box of forgiveness and people are walking past kicking that motherfucker with you rolling around inside looking dumb, feeling stupid. Like that shit is tired. I don't like that. Like, I don't. I'm not a fan. I guess I'm not a fan of forgiveness? No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not a fan of forgiveness given freely. I'm not a fan of it. And do you have to deal with things that happen in your past? You have to forgive to heal from them. I don't think so. I don't. Because it's not about it's not about the other person. It's about you. So if you do your own work, you don't have to forgive them. You can just be happy. Drama, there are situations. Forgiveness and friend groups, I think, like not given freely, but maybe you can kind of give out a little more like, oh, okay, you didn't mean it, but within reason. Like I think family should be held to a higher standard. Close friends should probably be held to just about the same standard as family. Little shit throughout the day, like like shit that happens at like work and stuff. I don't forget nothing. I don't forget what nobody said. I don't forget when you ordered food and didn't tell me. I don't forget when you said something slick out your mouth. I don't forget nothing. Do I forgive it? No. I don't know them people like that. Like, yeah, we work together, but I don't, you know what? I don't even think like some of them, it's not even a matter of forgiveness. Like y'all, they like non-entities. It's like, I don't forget though. And it's not like I save it up in a little bank like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you later. But, forgiveness is not even a factor in some situations, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But, you just have to have a long memory and remember how people treated you and how you felt and things that were said. And then you decide, how you want to act with them or how you move or whatever from then on. And I guess finally, though, I think the one person that you do absolutely have to forgive all the time, every time, without question, like, and this forgiveness should absolutely be given freely, you have to forgive yourself. We have all done things that we were just like, yo, what the fuck was I thinking? Whether it be something small or something on a grand scale, we have all gotten outside our bodies and treated ourselves like absolute trash. We have all made stupid decisions. And if you have not, you probably will at some point. And what you have to do absolutely have to do. 100%. You have to forgive yourself. Not forgiving yourself is probably the only time where you don't practice forgiveness, and it can greatly impact your life and have a significantly negative impact on your life. Because if you are walking around angry with yourself, regretting choices, your esteem is low, you just have a bad feeling about yourself, you are going to allow other people to treat you wrong. You're going to be open to, abuse by other people. You are going to take whatever they give you because you are trying to find some outside source to make you feel better, because you have convinced yourself that, you aren't good, you aren't worthy, you aren't something because of some decisions that you made. I mean, it will be, oh God, it will be so detrimental. Like, we damage ourselves way more than anybody else could. When you, like trauma in your past that you blame yourself for, that you, and even, something that may have happened to you that you've quote unquote forgiven the other person for, but you can't forgive yourself for, you treat yourself like shit because of it. You blame yourself. I mean, just think about how you treat people when you blame them for something they did to you. You're like, I fucking hate your ass. What the fuck you did to me? When you're talking about somebody else. So if you feel that way about yourself, oh my God, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Huge. In your life, your relationships, probably your work relationships, your job, like nothing is going to go right. You are not going to get to live your best life if you are hating on yourself. If you have not forgiven yourself, if you have not, and then not even not forgiving yourself, like some stuff, you just really have to recognize that it wasn't your fucking fault to begin with. A lot of times we blame ourselves for things that were completely out of our control, that we were like a legit victim in. It had nothing to do with us. Somebody else made us feel like it was our fault. And it had nothing to do with you. So you have to forgive yourself. And that a lot of time takes a lot of work. Like I say, it should be given freely and without reservation. But oddly enough, ironically enough, forgiving yourself can be the hardest thing that you ever had to do. So, yeah, but get to work starting to forgive yourself. Go talk to a therapist. I don't know what else. You got to do it. Start there. Fuck everybody else. Forgive yourself first, and then maybe start to work out from there. That's good advice, right? I think so. Start with yourself, work out from there. And I think you'll be okay. So I think that is about it and I think this will probably be the first installment of talking about forgiveness, because it's such a wide and varied topic. Like, we probably really need to get into forgiving your parents, or forgiving them, or just recognizing what they did and not repeating patterns. Ooh, that's a deep one. Yeah, so this is going to be the first episode of many, and they'll probably be sparse through here sporadically as more stuff comes up, because like I said, it's a pretty heady topic, and it's something that needs to be talked about more, I truly feel. So that is it for this episode of True Opinion. I am on Twitter. True Opinion Podcast is on Twitter. We got a website. I have my own Twitter page, Adontaus, and that's it. Take care. If you ain't voted yet, Super Tuesdays not Super Tuesday, I guess second Super Tuesday. Like, anyway, voting in the primary is still coming up. A lot of states have not voted yet. I'm in Illinois. We ain't voted yet. So make sure you are registered. Get out there. Vote for some damn body. Just exercise the right that your ancestors fought and died for, you goddamn fool. And go out there and vote. All right? Okay. Take care, y'all.